Welcome back to another episode of the Soundtrack of Self podcast. I'm your host, Paulina, and today I want to ask you, what are you doing? What are you doing? And I'm not talking about right now. I'm not talking about what are you doing tomorrow? What are you doing yesterday? I'm talking about what are you doing in order to balance yourself out in a healthy way? What are you doing for yourself? Now, we are so confronted with life every day. We get up, we go to work, we deal with traffic, we deal with difficult people in traffic, or maybe even at work. We deal with our friends' problem, we listen to them. We deal with our family, we deal maybe with our family problems. We deal with our own problems, we listen to our own problems. And it's so much negativity. And that's not to say that it's a bad thing. But what I'm saying is it's life, and this is what will happen and will continue to happen. You cannot turn it on and off. You cannot turn off your work. You cannot turn off your friends' problem. Just like, don't have problems right now. That would be a little rude. But what you can do is find a balance as of understanding what you are doing for yourself. You keep showing up in life and you keep doing all those things. But what are you doing for yourself? Are you getting enough sleep? Are you balancing your way out in a healthy way? And I'm not talking about having a glass of red wine in the evening when you get home from work. I'm not talking about having a blunt. I'm not talking about drinking on the weekends in order to balance yourself and your nervous system. There are healthy and unhealthy ways to regulate yourself. And so when you have unhealthy ways, it's personally, in my opinion, is just suppressing it. But what is it that you're doing that can help you to regulate yourself? What I found helpful is having a morning routine. I've read so many things and I've heard so many things about morning routines and being it the first few hours of the day, just literally focused on yourself, on you, on yourself, and just focused on doing something for yourself. So I started implementing kind of like, I would call it a balanced morning routine. And I still have to optimize it, to be honest, because a lot of the time I wake up and then I already turn on a podcast or I turn on some music, and then, I go to the bed. So usually, regardless of the order, because I'm still kind of optimizing it. But what my morning routine typically consists of is I get up, I go to the bathroom, I do my mouth hygiene, stuff like that, do my skincare, take a shower, and then I follow up with yoga, visualization, or workouts, or take a walk, or additionally take a walk. And then I give my cat some food, and I drink my vinegar water, make my coffee, and then I sit down. I either journal, or I'm checking my emails, or I'm writing affirmations, and then, drink my coffee. And then at some point when I get hungry, I just eat breakfast. So this is kind of like my morning routine. Now, what this morning routine does for me is it gives me time to focus on myself by doing yoga. And I have found that doing yoga is so relaxing. It's like meditation, just with movements. Because I found myself not really thinking about anything while I'm doing yoga. I'm literally just like focusing on doing it, and it makes me feel really good. And that's something, for example, that I do to regulate myself. Do yoga, visualize, or meditate, and then write my journals, just put the focus on myself, because we are so occupied with everybody else. We're working for a boss. We're working maybe for a business that we want to establish, but that's also for our future self. We are there for our friends, we are there for our family, and we have to show up for ourselves just because life, So what are we doing in order to actually put the focus on ourselves and balance ourselves out, regardless of all the stress that we are surrounded with. Now, like I said, morning routines have helped me really, really much. I really love my morning routines. They're sacred to me. I can't lie. They're really, really sacred to me. Just having morning routines. I really want to learn to not have background noises, at least for the first hour of the day, where I can just plainly really focus on my tasks that I want to fulfill. And yeah, so that's for that. Also, what you can do is go to the gym. Going to the gym, I feel like is a great balance. It's a great way to regulate yourself, especially when you have a stressful day or you're dealing with stressful people. Going to the gym can be a great outlet. So just in general, I would say find something for yourself that is a healthy way of regulating yourself. I'm not talking about smoking a cigarette to calm yourself down. I'm not talking about a blunt to make you relax. I'm talking about, can meditation do the same for you? Can going to the gym do the same for you? Can taking a walk do the same for you? And in the last episode, I talked about habits and changes. And you may not feel the effects right away because it's not a quick fix. It's something that you'd have to continue in order to establish and get your nervous system to regulate itself, and it will get used to it. It doesn't get used to it overnight. I talked about it in the last episode. You just cannot expect to implement one habit and then you immediately see the effects and the changes. It takes some time. And yes, smoking a cigarette, drinking a glass of red wine is a quick fix. It gives you a quick feeling of pleasure. But that's not what we're here for, because in my opinion, that's just suppressing what you really feel. Now, in order to confront what you really feel, you do the work in the long run. Do what you find to help you, but you have to pay attention. And do what you feel comfortable with. I do feel like meditation may not work the best for you. Maybe going on a walk for 1 hour is the greatest solution for you. Maybe going crazy at the gym for 2 hours, maybe that is something that really helps you to regulate yourself in the long run as well. Not to even mention the gym, especially if you're physically active, that is not only great for your physical health, but also great to release the lucky hormones, the good endorphins? No, hold on. I don't want to say anything wrong. So I'm not a neurologist, so I don't really know, but I just heard so much stuff about it that after the gym, it releases the hormones that make you feel good. Let's just put it like that. So yeah, going to the gym is great. I have never been a huge fan of taking walks, just because as a kid, I used to always take walks, especially after the food, especially like family gatherings, Christmas, and then after, the big dinner, we all go and take a walk. And I never took that serious when doctors told me, just go on a walk. It's good for your mental health. No, I wasn't really interested in that. But now I do go on walks, and I must say, if you do that on a regular basis, taking walks is literally nurturing. I can really vouch for taking walks. Taking walks is just so nurturing. I can't even explain it in a different way. Taking walks is, especially if you listen to a podcast. Sometimes I don't even feel like listening to anything. I just be listening to nature. I just be walking. And it sounds a little scary to just walk and just not listen to anything, to anything in your ears. No music, no podcast, no nothing. You don't call anybody. You're not on the phone with anybody. You're just taking a walk. It's so different. It's really different. Try it out. It's really cool. I like it though. So I do think in order to actually feel the effects of it, you'd have to do that on a regular basis. So yeah. So what can help you is, like I said, taking walks. Try different things out. Try different things out and see what works for you. I've already mentioned that in another episode too. Try things out. Be open. Try meditation. Try yoga. Try just stretching. Just stretching could be something. And it doesn't only do you good for your mental, it does also do you good for your physical. Stretching, yoga, taking a walk, or maybe just sitting there and visualizing how you would love yourself to act and to be today. Maybe you want to write down certain questions that you want to answer yourself every day. Maybe it's a gratitude journal that you do every day in order to put your mind in the right state. All of those things, they have a great effect. But like I said, don't expect immediate results. Be patient with it. But make sure that you do something. Make sure you do something for yourself. Don't only show up for everybody else around you. Yes, life happens, but that doesn't mean you have to neglect yourself. But what is it that you're doing for yourself to regulate yourself and your nervous system in order to not lose it? You don't have to neglect yourself in order to live a life where you can function. You have to function, yeah, but don't forget about yourself. Just don't forget about yourself. So I want to motivate you by saying that, to really research some stuff, watch YouTube videos, check out what could suit you, what you find interesting to do. It could be something spiritual. It could be just like saging. It could be something that you want to do. If you're really interested in that, then my suggestion would be try implementing just a little routine, just a little thing each day, that you add on. Let's say you want to try, you want to wake up and try not looking at your phone for the first hour of the day. Try that for 1 week. And then on top of that, you add something else. So in the second week, you can do, for example, you don't look at your phone for the first hour of the day. And then additionally, you do a 5-minute meditation. Boom. Then you already have 2 things that you're doing for yourself. Now, in the third week, you can add a third one. Or you can do it like I did it too. You can just do it suddenly. And do it all together. It works. You just have to stay consistent with it. So just really see what works for you the best. What I did was just like I made a plan of what I want to do, what things are for what. Like, for example, doing yoga is not only good for my mental, but also for my body. Or taking a walk is not only good for my mental, but also my body. But I also only want to focus like on mental. So I journal. Or I just, I wake up and I don't look at my phone for the first hour of the day. I don't do that a lot, unfortunately. I do have to really work on that. But I really made a plan of what I'm doing and what my ideal morning routine would look like. And I implemented that right the next morning, and it's been sticking ever since. I think it's been sticking since like March, probably March. Now is September. So yeah, I've been actually sticking to this morning routine since March. And what has really helped me is repetition. Repetition, I think, is really, really important for pretty much everything you're doing. If you're trying to learn something new, if you want to implement something new, it's just a matter of repetition. And what I did then to remind myself of keeping my routine was to listen to podcasts, even if it was the same episode over and over again, and I already knew what that person is going to say. I still listen to it because that way it really, really gets to me. I'm just the type of person, I need a lot of repetition. I always ask why. Why? If I don't understand something, I try to figure it out. Now I know I cannot understand everything, but it's important for me to really work as hard as I have to before I understand it. So yeah, so this is what I did. Repetition, and try again. If you fall off, try again, and don't be too hard on yourself. If you fail to have your routine, or you fail to do something that one day or 2 days in a row, or maybe 3 days in a row because you just feel sad, then try again on the 4th day. Try again. We all fall off every now and then. We all fall short. It's human. It's called being human. You just do it and try it again. And you try it as much as you want. You try it as much as you have to in order to get where you want to be. My morning routine, I do it since March, but I had a few days in between in which I did not follow my morning routine. So it's no biggie. You just try again. You get up and try again. And because of that, you're already a strong human being. So with that being said, do something for yourself. Find something that you can do every day for yourself. Literally, I'm talking about every day. I'm not talking about Netflix. Go home after work and just binge watch Netflix until you fall asleep. I'm talking about do something for yourself that is healthily regulating your nervous system, yourself. And like I said, it may not work in that very moment. It's not a quick fix, but you will regulate your nervous system in the long run. And it will make your life so much easier. And I think in the last episode, I already said that it builds resilience. And this is exactly what it is. It builds resilience because life will happen. So thank you so much for watching. That's for today's episode. And I'll see you in the next episode.